Hey, good day. This is Todd. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, thanks for joining us as we are going through Galatians right now, and we're in chapter 2 of Galatians. And this chapter, I've divided it up into 3 episodes, and it's talking about different aspects that we need to be aware of in the church. The first thing we talked about is submitting my message. I need to be in submission as to what I'm preaching and teaching to the other leaders of the church. Okay, and that doesn't mean like everything I say to everybody I go, hey, is this okay to do? No, but I'd be in general submission, to them, so they can bring correction if I need correction, which actually plays into today's episode. And then yesterday we talked about called to reach different people. I might be called to reach different people, say triathletes or people that I live near, and so forth. Okay, and then you're called to reach other people that I can't reach with the gospel, which is okay. And then today we're going to be talking about confronting hypocrisy, and you're going to see how Paul felt he needed to confront hypocrisy that was going on here. And so let's read today. We're going to read Galatians chapter 2, verses 11 through 21. Okay? It says this: When Cephas came to Antioch, I opposed him to his face because he stood condemned. For before certain men came from James, he used to eat with the Gentiles. But when they arrived, he began to draw back and separate himself from the Gentiles because he was afraid of those who belonged to the circumcision group. The other Jews joined him in this hypocrisy, so that by their hypocrisy, even Barnabas was led astray. Okay. So what would happen here? They would have a meal together at the church wherever they were meeting. It was usually in a home, and so they would eat together. And Cephas was like just fine with eating with the Gentiles before, but then other people came along, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm not going to eat with them anymore." And so he withdrew to another table with the Jewish people, and then other people were seeing that too. Okay, and Paul saw what happened here, and he was like, "Hey, that's not right what you're doing." Okay, verse 14: When I saw that they were acting in line with the truth of the gospel, when they were not acting. When they were not acting in line with the truth of the gospel, I said to Cephas in front of them all, "You are a Jew, yet you live like a Gentile, and are not like a Jew. How is it then that you force the Gentiles to follow the Jewish customs? We who are Jews by birth and not sinful Gentiles know that a person is not justified by the works of the law, but by faith in Jesus Christ. So we too have put our faith in Christ Jesus, that we may be justified by the faith in Christ, and not by the works of the law. Because by the works of the law no one will be justified. But if in seeking to be justified in Christ we Jews find ourselves also among the sinners, doesn't that mean that Christ promotes sin? Absolutely not. If I rebuild what I destroyed, then I really would be a lawbreaker. For through the law I died to the law, so that I might live for God. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not set aside the grace of God, for if righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing. Okay, a whole lot of teaching Paul does here in that last section. But what I wanted to point out today is this. You could do a whole couple hour sermon on this if you wanted to, just this passage, but I wanted to focus just on this, that how Paul was confronting the hypocrisy. These guys all knew this was hypocrisy, and they knew it was wrong. And so when Paul confronts it, it's like, oh yeah, it's obvious. But Paul confronted that to bring correction. He didn't just let it slide. Okay. So in this chapter, you're seeing how there's things that need to happen in the church. Okay. The first thing is this, that we need to be submissive to the authorities and work together in the authorities. So if I'm a leader in the church, I need to work with those leaders and be submissive to those leaders in the church, and check my message with those leaders. Okay, and then the second thing is we're called to reach different people. So you might have the youth pastor who's good at reaching the youth, and then you have the guy that is reaching the seniors. Okay, and it's hard for them to crisscross, but I mean, we're all Christians and we're all sharing the gospel. Okay, then the last thing is confronting where there's sin and where there's hypocrisy, and there's times where that needs to happen too, and not to be afraid of it. Naturally, I don't want to do that. Okay, no one wants to go and confront people, but Paul here needed to do that, and so he confronted that to bring the church in line. And you're seeing here what's happening is it's to build the church, to make it a holy church, God's church. Okay, so all those things play into Christ's church, and that's why Paul wrote the book of Galatians, to teach the churches in Galatia the way they should be living. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we're going to start chapter 3 of Galatians. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.